No one believes that a small toy can harm anyone. But when this monkey starts banging on his drum, everything turns into deadly chaos. This story begins in 1999 in an antique store filled with antiques. There are rats running everywhere. A man in a pilot's uniform walks into the store and calls the clerk. There are red spots on his clothes. The pilot wants to give away his toy monkey, but the seller refuses to accept it. The pilot puts the monkey on the counter anyway. Her eyes light up immediately. Music is playing, and the monkey starts drumming. This triggers a series of terrifying events, like in the movie Destination, and the store owner is quickly dispatched. The pilot notices a flamethrower on the counter and uses it to burn the monkey. Two twin boys, Hal and Bill, are sitting on the hood of a car and looking out the window of their house. There's their mother dancing with an old man. Their father left the family long ago. Bill is constantly teasing Hal. While Mom is dancing with her boyfriend, Hal talks about his difficult childhood. Mom raised them alone. It turns out that their father went out to the store one evening to buy cigarettes and did not return. He worked as a pilot and brought a lot of stuff. The brothers are rummaging through the pantry, sorting through their father's things. They find a box with a toy monkey. Bill sees the inscription, "Turn the key and something will happen." He turns the monkey on with a key, but nothing happens. The boy throws the monkey to Hal, deciding that it is broken. Mom is going on another date. A babysitter comes to our heroes. This is a young girl named Annie. In the evening, the boys and the babysitter have dinner at a Japanese restaurant and enthusiastically follow the cook. He's a master. He works with a knife and fire. The monkey left in the car comes to life. Music is playing and she starts banging on the drum. The sudden movement of the toy triggers a chain of accidents that lead to tragedy again. One of the chef's knives flies straight at Annie. But even this terrible incident does not bring the brothers closer. At Annie's funeral, the boys listen to a drunken priest speak. He confidently declares that there are no coincidences, and God always has some kind of plan. The mother of our heroes completely agrees with the priest. She reminds her sons that sooner or later all people will go to the other world, and then they dance with them to the old rock and roll. At school, his classmates bully him because he doesn't have a father. The girls take his pants away from him, and Hal returns home without them. He goes into his room and sees the monkey there. In the evening, Bill teases and mocks Hal. He makes his brother say, "I'm going to marry this monkey, and I'm going to feed her my banana." Hal is watching a sex education lesson in class. He looks into his backpack under his desk, and all the classmates start laughing at him. The boy returns home and sees that the monkey is sitting on his bed. He decides that this toy is to blame for all his troubles, and gets a monkey. Bill returns home and sees his mom falling to the floor. This time, the infernal toy decides to take her to the next world. The boys are sitting in the church at their mother's funeral. Hal realizes that when the monkey starts beating the drum, some kind of tragedy occurs. No one knows who she will choose. She does not follow anyone's orders. Hal decides to get rid of the dangerous toy and hides it in a box. Now the boys have to live with their relatives, Aunt Ida and Uncle Chip. These people have never wanted children and are not going to pay much attention to their nephews. At night, Hal takes a huge cleaver and cuts his toy into pieces. Red spots appear like blood. Hal throws the pieces of the monkey into the landfill. The brothers move in with Aunt Ida and Uncle Chip. Now they will live in the small town of Casca. In the evening, the boys watch TV. Hal is horrified to notice that there is a monkey figurine under the Christmas tree. He says it's an evil killer monkey. Bill does not believe that the toy is capable of harming someone, so he suggests that his brother get a monkey and check what happens next. Hal begs his brother not to do this, but Bill winds up the key anyway. Another funeral is taking place in the church. We see a portrait of Uncle Chip in a black frame. The priest says he had a hunting accident. He was lying in a sleeping bag, and he was crushed by a herd of wild horses. The brothers decide to lock the monkey in a box and throw it into the well. No one will find her there, and she won't hurt anyone else. 25 years have passed. All this time, the monkey didn't touch anyone. Aunt Ida hears the music and comes down the stairs, clutching a pistol in her hands. The music is coming from the basement, but there is no one there. The stairs break under her feet and she falls. The woman takes out the fragments from the lamp with small tweezers, picks up a bottle of alcohol and smears her cuts. A kettle is boiling on the gas stove. Aunt Ida leans over the stove. Flames engulf her head. With loud screams, the woman runs out of the house, crashes into a sharp branch and falls. Hell has grown up and now works in a pharmacy. He hadn't talked to Bill in years. The man was so afraid that the monkey would come back that he abandoned his family, hoping that now they would be safe. Hull tells his colleague that he needs to take time off from work to see Pity's son and take him to the fear room for rides. He admits that he sees his child only once a year. Hull drives up to his wife's house and signs a birthday card for Pity. Hull's wife now has a new husband named Ted. He holds a session of parental energy transfer and says that now the father's right has passed from Hell to him. Ted wants to officially adopt Pity, and Hull is given one last week to spend with her son. A property sale is taking place at Aunt Ida's house. Rick the scavenger looks at her things and sees a toy monkey among them. He's taking her home. Rick says he's going to sell this toy to his crazy neighbor, who never leaves the house. Hull and Pity spend the night at a motel. A man does not admit to his son that he has a twin brother. At night, Hell dreams of a monkey banging on a drum. He wakes up and hears the phone ring. This is Bill. He tells his brother that Aunt Ida had an accident, which means that the monkey has returned again. Bill asks Hell to check Aunt Ida's house, find a creepy toy and destroy it. Hull comes out of her room and sees that a woman wants to swim in the pool. The air conditioner breaks off the wall and falls into the water. A woman jumps into the water and gets an electric shock. The frightened man wakes up Pity and leaves the motel immediately. The boy asks Hell about his mother and asks his father to take him to Aunt Ida's house. Hell doesn't like this idea very much, but this is the last chance to spend time with his own son. At night, Hell has nightmares about his mom. He wakes up and can't find Pity anywhere. Fortunately, his son is fine. The next day, Hull arrives at Aunt Ida's house. He meets real estate agent Barbara there. She tells Hull about the successful sale of things and that several more accidents happened to Aunt Ida after the tragedy. Hella asks Barbara if she saw a toy monkey at the sale. The woman replies that she doesn't know anything. As soon as Barbara opens the door in the pantry, a gun suddenly. He dials the phone number that Bill called him from. The answering machine says that the search for the monkey is already over. Bill is sitting on the couch in his house. He is sure that Hell is to blame for the death of their mother. It turns out that Bill wanted to return this monkey, but found only the key in the well. He had been searching for a devilish toy for many years to take revenge on his brother. When the year of the monkey came, Bill began to notice various signs hinting at its return. He saw this toy everywhere. Bill even prepared a new black suit for the funeral. Turns out that the man found this monkey after all. He turned her on and asked her to punish the one who was guilty. The man hoped that she would harm Hull, but the monkey always randomly chose a victim. For example, this time she chose a colleague, Hello, from a pharmacy. The man stepped on a rake and ate his electronic cigarette. Rick, the garbage man, comes to Bill, rings the intercom and asks him to return the monkey, but Bill refuses him. Offended, Rick returns home, finds his stepfather's old police uniform and changes into it. Hull returns to the motel with Pity and admits that being around him is very dangerous. He wants his son to go home. Suddenly, Bill calls him. The man reports that he has the devil monkey now, and now he turns the key. Bill demands that Hell bring Pity to him, otherwise the monkey will continue to take people's lives. He needs the boy to turn the key, because the one who gets the monkey does not die. Rick comes to Hull and Pity in a police uniform, threatens them with a gun and demands to go with him. Rick drives them to Bill's house. He wants Pity to come into Bill's house and bring him a toy monkey. Hell is forced to agree, but asks Pity not to touch the key on the monkey's back. Pity approaches Bill's house and climbs inside through the dog door. There are many traps in the house that trigger and put his life in danger several times. Hull guesses that Rick is not a cop. They both notice a huge hornet's nest under the window. Pity enters the room and finds his uncle. Bill tries to trick the guy and asks him to get a monkey. Pity fulfills his request. A hornet's nest breaks off a branch. Wasps fly into the car and sting Rick. Bill demands that the guy get the monkey back, but Pity takes the key and runs away. Suddenly, the monkey starts drumming without a key and does it for a very long time. Bill looks out the window and sees a burning plane falling. The monkey continues to drum and the terrible tragedies continue. Hull and Pity sneak into the house and run into Bill's room. Hell blames his brother for all the tragedies and reminds him that the monkey chooses its own victim and cannot be controlled. The men decide to finally forget old grudges and forgive each other. The monkey is drumming again. This time, she takes Bill's life. Hell and Pity drive through a ruined city. They see empty streets, overturned cars, fires, and complete chaos. Hell decides to keep the monkey for himself, keep an eye on it, and not give it to anyone. A pale rider on a horse appears at the intersection. This is Death. The rider looks at Hull and rides on. The man offers his son to go dancing. They leave the ruined city.